with open arms. The past is just a story in this glory. Heal through life's charm. Every breath, fresh start. Pain no longer in control.
Greetings, beautiful humans. We're just starting today's Healing in Nature event. Give me a moment to get things set up. We're going to be starting at 5. We got about 10 minutes, so enjoy some chill music, some medicine music that I've prepared especially for you. And we will get started in a minute.
Embrace the now with open arms. The past is just a story in this glory. Heal through life's storm. Heal through life's storm. Just a story in this glory. Heal through life's storms. Breaking free from all the chains, leaving behind all the pains, setting boundaries in place, finding hope within this space. Take charge of my own ways, don't erase, build a cycle, breaking storm, finding truth in breaking the cycle, healing every scar. In this life we find ourselves, together we go far. No more hidden, no more lies, letting go the endless ties, turning wounds into grace, in forgiveness we embrace, healing hearts with tender care, understandings in the air, teaching strength through gentle lies, family love now will rise. Oh, we're breaking the cycle, breaking through the storm, finding truth in every lie. Love becomes our form, breaking the cycle, healing every storm. In this light we find ourselves, together we go far. No more games, no more lies, letting go the endless ties, turning wounds into grace, in forgiveness we embrace. Then hearts with tender care, understandings in the air, teaching strength through gentle eyes, family love now will rise. Oh, we're breaking the cycle, breaking through the storm, finding truth in every lie. Love becomes our form, breaking the cycle, healing every scar. In the sun we find ourselves, together we go far. No more pains, no more lies, letting go the endless ties, turning wounds into grace, in and forgiveness we embrace. Healing hearts with tender care, understandings in the air. Teaching strength through gentle lies, family love now will rise.
Well, greetings, beautiful human. Like I said earlier, my name is AJ, owner of AJ Inc., Triple M Coaching, founder of our home planet on the interwebs, hackyourself.net. For those of you listening, it's hack-yourself.net. I am a human programmer. I help my clients learn self-hypnosis, learn how to reprogram the unconscious beliefs of self-sabotage. And that's what we're doing here tonight in this episode of Healing in Nature. Tonight we are going to be talking about boundaries, not only how to set them, but how to keep them in place lovingly, quietly, powerfully. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Tonight we have my friend Efron joining us, most likely. Text me, and maybe, just maybe tonight will be the night that you, who's been watching and wanting to join, maybe tonight's the night. Because the Zoom link is in the description. All you have to do is click the link when I tell you to join, and remember that the password is 1133, and you'll be magically transported into my waiting room. And then after this, all the information for the event tonight, after we go over how to do everything, once I open up the Zoom room and get everyone out of the waiting room, all hundreds of you that are going to be waiting, then we'll do a 5 to 10 minute guided meditation or conversational hypnosis to install power and boundaries into our unconscious mind to make it easier to find our own boundaries in our own lives. So thank you for joining me today. Anyone taking the time, whether you're watching this live, it looks like I got a couple people watching, welcome. Or if you're watching the replay later, it does not matter. I set these up for busy people. So if you're busy during the time that we're going live, then you can watch this anytime. And also in the description, there is a link to all of our past events. So feel free to check that out after the show today if you're interested in seeing more topics. We have lots of different topics in there right now. We got about eight episodes in there already. And we're just going to keep building together and keep learning together. And tonight, topic, boundaries, is actually something I'm working on myself. So I really enjoy doing these. Over the past 10 years of meditation and getting out of narcissistic relationships and a very high control group or cult, I had to learn how to set boundaries, but I've never really learned how to keep them firmly in place quietly. So that's why I emphasize that at the beginning, because it's important to learn how to just set them and keep them and not have to argue about them. That's how we end up losing the boundary, is arguing over whether we deserve it. So if you get nothing else out of this event today, I hope you leave here knowing that you deserve boundaries, you deserve a peaceful space to heal, and that anybody outside of you that won't give you that space is just too broken to see it, and all you need is a little distance to heal, and then you'll be able to deal with that. So tonight we're going to give ourselves permission to learn how to set these boundaries and learn how to keep them in place. So let me make sure I have everything set up here. I think we're good. If you're watching live, if you wouldn't mind liking the video, I'd appreciate it. And I have got to get my music set up here. I like to play some calm music in the background. Sorry, I don't have anyone helping me with background. There we go. All right. So welcome back, beautiful human. Tonight's Healing in Nature event is about something that many of us were never taught. how to protect ourselves without guilt. Tonight is not about becoming harsh. It's not about cutting anyone off. It's not about confrontation or conflict. It's about learning how to listen to your body, trusting your inner signals, and protecting the inner child. We've spent weeks healing. So take a slow breath in through the nose and a long, slow exhale through your mouth. You can see I'm actually out in nature. It's cold out here tonight. Feels good. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Nothing is required of you tonight. You don't have to explain yourself, and you don't have to earn your place here. Most people think that boundaries are about other people. They're not. Boundaries are about your relationship with yourself. You can't hold boundaries with others if you don't trust yourself. And many of us don't trust ourselves. Not because we're broken, but because trust was systematically taken from us. You see, narcissistic families teach you to doubt your own perception. High control religions and groups teach you to distrust your own intuition. Addictive environments teach us to ignore our own needs when we become the caregiver of an addict or we become the addict. Chaotic homes teach us to adapt instead of protect ourselves. So I want you to think about maybe a time that you knew something felt wrong, but you overrode that feeling to keep peace. I tried to think of an instance of this in my past, but there's just too many. In the 18 years I spent in a high control group and a high control family, not understanding how power worked. That was my life for at least 10 of those years, was fully knowing something was wrong, but absolutely overriding that feeling just to keep peace. And so those are the moments that we're going to focus on today. We're going to bring them up in our mind and we're going to learn a different way. We're going to learn how to validate that feeling and still have peace and stand up for our own rights. So if you're watching this live or in the replay, you can comment. Sorry, I got a bug chasing me here. Does anyone relate to ignoring your gut feeling to avoid conflict? I've had many answers come from clients like, I always knew something felt off, but I told myself I was overreacting. Or I've heard, I was taught that saying no was selfish, and I personally was taught that one. Or I learned to stay quiet because speaking up made things worse. I could feel that one in my gut. I didn't trust myself. I trusted the authority instead. If any of these resonate, you're not alone. Many people have been taught those false beliefs. So what are boundaries? Boundaries are self-respect, self-protection. Boundaries are self-trust in action. Boundaries are listening to your body and responding instead of reacting. Boundaries are not punishment to others. We're not trying to control others. They're not cruel. They're not ultimatums. And they're not abandonment. But if we find ourselves in high control groups or toxic family systems where our boundaries have been trampled, others are going to take us setting these boundaries as punishment, control, cruelty, ultimatums, or abandonment. What we have to realize during this process is we are the cycle breakers. We are the ones breaking the cycle. The others continuing the cycle can't see it. And all that's happening here is unconscious behavior from body memories. We're all just triggering each other, and boundaries are to help us deal with our own triggers. So understand that when we start expressing boundaries and setting them in toxic situations, they're going to be seen as red flags. They're going to be treated as toxic behavior because in the system that we're used to, toxic behavior is normal. So it makes sense. But the key line here is that boundaries are not walls, they are doors. And you get to decide who has access through the door. And so safe people will eventually learn that your boundaries are a way to reach you, and that not abiding by your boundaries makes you inaccessible. That's an effective boundary if it does that. So, Zeph just joined us. It's hard to see with my weird background. Come here, buddy. Say hello to everyone. He's like, I just want food. Get this computer out of my way. So what comes up in your body when you think about setting boundaries? Think of the one relationship or the set of relationships, the one group that you need to set boundaries with. And when you think of doing it, does fear come up? Guilt? Anxiety? Tightness in the chest? Does it feel like you're doing something wrong? Because if it does, that does not mean that boundaries are wrong. It simply means that your nervous system learned that safety depends on compliance, or that your safety comes from the outside. So why do survivors of narcissistic abuse and toxic environments struggle with boundaries? Reason number one, boundaries were punished. They were punished with anger, silent treatment, withdrawal of love, shame, or if you're in a religiously controlled group, spiritual consequences. Reason number two, we were taught that others matter more than we do. Sorry, Zeph is walking through my work area. So reason number 2, we were taught that others matter more than we do. This results in, or this comes from parentified children who are treated like the other parent. I know that happened in my house a lot. My youngest son was looked to for spiritual advice when I was leaving the religion that we were in, and he basically took my place in the family system as the spiritual head. And that creates a parentified child. It creates a child with responsibilities that are too much for them. So that's how their boundaries get eroded. Emotional caretakers, it creates, why we become emotional caretakers. Religious obedience teaches us that others are more important, or the conditioning that you need to be the bigger person, that your rights, your needs need to be put on a back burner for others. Reason number 3 why survivors struggle with boundaries is we confuse boundaries with rejection, especially in alienation and in abandonment trauma. And that happens often in romantic relationships. When you have abandonment trauma and you're trying to have a relationship romantically, that abandonment trauma will get triggered every time your partner wants to set a healthy boundary, especially if one or both of you is enmeshed in the relationship or is emotionally tied to the other person, needing the other person to feel good. Codependent is the right word for it. That will make it almost impossible to set boundaries without triggering that abandonment trauma. So in these situations, we need to be very careful that we start looking inward when we get hurt, because looking outward makes us think that the person in front of us hurt us. And what is really happening when somebody sets a healthy boundary with us and our abandonment trigger gets switched, we go into that body memory and we start reacting rather than acting. And we can't tell that it's a healthy thing that's happening. It happens to me too. So it happens to all of us. And it's something we all have to watch for. So ask yourself, what did your family or religion teach you about saying no? Some comments I've heard in my own personal coaching with others, it's the feedback I've gotten is that it was disrespectful, that saying no was selfish, that God wouldn't approve if we say no. I mean, I was taught early on in the Jehovah's Witness cult that saying no to a privilege or an assignment was literally disrespecting God. So if they ask you to do something, it was instilled right in the beginning that your needs don't matter. And none of these are true. All of these are examples of conditioning of what caused the problem. So we need to look for these responses when they come up in ourselves. If our gut feeling is telling us to say no, and we feel that it's disrespectful to say no, and that story is coming up, I wish I could say no, but that would be disrespectful, we need to challenge it. Or if we feel it would be selfish or that God wouldn't approve, or if we feel like we would lose that connection. That one's a hard one because sometimes we will lose the connection if we say no. But that's a symptom of not wanting to deal with reality. It's much better to say no and lose a friend who's using you than to say yes out of guilt and continue to be used. And that's a hard lesson to learn, especially when you need the connection to feel good. So it's much better to heal the codependence and heal the abandonment trauma. So let's look at some real life boundary scenarios. In a family, the old pattern might be I would answer the call even though my body tightens up. So somebody that I have a hard time interacting with is calling me, I might answer it even though my body is telling me not to answer it. But after we have boundaries, we can reframe and realize that we don't owe access just because we're related to somebody. It doesn't mean we have to cut someone off completely, but it means that we can interact with them when we're ready. We don't have to answer when they call. A religious example, the old pattern might be I silence my doubts to avoid shame. But after a boundary reframe, we might say, my inner knowing matters. And from now on, when we hear something from our religion or from our spiritual leaders that doesn't resonate with us, that seems hypocritical, that feels like doublethink compared to what they said last week, maybe we can allow our inner knowing at least to emerge enough that we can entertain it to see if it's accurate. Relationship example, the old pattern, I might over explain myself so that they don't leave. But after reframing that with boundaries, I might realize that I don't need permission to protect myself. I might already know that I have that right. How about work? An example at work. An old pattern might say, I say yes even when I'm exhausted. But after a boundary reframe, we might say, my energy is not infinite. So we might allow ourselves to say no. So after hearing this list, which area in your life needs boundaries most right now? Family, relationships, work, religion. Self-trust. Come on, Zach. Come on up. How it was broken and how to rebuild it. Come on, Zach. Self-trust was broken when we were gaslit. And I see this a lot in family coaching. A loving parent might be trying to help a child, but I just saw this the other day. A parent and a child leaving a store and the parent telling the child to put the jacket on because it was cold outside, and the child saying over and over, I'm too hot, and the parent saying, no, you're not, it's cold out, put it on. And it blew my mind because the parent was trying to help, but they didn't realize that their child was not cold. So just in the simple parent tried to keep the child warm, what I was thinking is maybe they should have said just carry it with you and have it in case you get cold. But it was complete gaslighting because the child was sweating and running around and hot. Self-trust was broken when our feelings were diminished, when we're told not to feel that way or not to cry. I see that all the time. Children told, I'll give you a reason to cry. Well, if a child's crying, I got news for you. They have a reason. So the next part is your intuition was overridden. And this happens often. People tell us as when we're younger that they know us better than we know ourselves. And it's just not the case all the time. How about when you were told that your reactions were wrong? You know, I see when a child overreacts, you can tell them the reactions may be bigger than it needs to be. But oftentimes it's not the wrong reaction. They just need to be taught how to have it. So self-trust is broken in those times. We rebuild it by us listening to our own body. We do that with meditation and mindfulness and breath work, nature walks, honoring our own discomfort. Really, one of the best ways that I began to stay present throughout the day, to carry my mindful state from my hour meditation in the morning throughout my whole day, was to watch every feeling, every bit of discomfort going through my body and sorting it out. Making sure that if I was hungry, I ate, or if I was fasting, at least I recognized that I was hungry and that I had a reason for the hunger. When I was tired, I would sleep. And to this day, that is my best ritual, is just watching my own discomfort throughout the day and taking care of it, making sure to care for it first. It doesn't take much once you get good at listening to it and once you start your day taking care of yourself. Self-trust is rebuilt when we stop explaining ourselves. This is a lesson I've been learning lately, and a good friend of mine is really helping me see it, that sometimes explaining our boundary gets us trapped in the problem, and we don't need to explain. We just need to be. Self-trust is rebuilt when we follow through on small promises to ourselves. So when we find ourselves in these responses, maybe feeling ourselves abandoned by somebody else setting a boundary, or maybe feeling the abandonment come up when we know we need to set the boundary, or any of these fear, any of these emotions, any of these things coming up, we can reparent ourselves by saying things like, I believe in you. I know it sounds cheesy, but oftentimes when I'm feeling down and I don't have many people telling me that I'm going to make it and that I'm going to be okay, oftentimes I have to spend time looking in the mirror, telling myself that I believe in myself, that I trust me, that I will protect myself. And so you can do the same thing. You can find the missing piece by the story that your mind is telling. Nobody ever supports me in this way. Nobody's ever here for me to do this. Nobody ever helps me blank. Fill in that blank with, I will do that for you. And then follow through on the promise and make sure you take care of yourself. Really, the biggest part of awakening is realizing that everything you are relying on other people to do for you, you need to learn how to do for yourself. And then you will learn how to just appreciate when other people give to you. Once you become completely self-sufficient and you don't need help from anyone, then your relationships will freely flow. You'll no longer unconsciously be the user. You'll no longer unconsciously be the energy vampire, because you will be the supply of your happiness. Your inside, it will happen, and it will flow out naturally to others. And we get that unlimited supply by connecting with what I would call source energy. But you can connect with that whether you even believe there's a higher source or not. You can connect to the infinite goodness of all people and call it that. I just happen to see it as the energy that created me that I can connect to. But I'm just a broken old man who got out of a cult. So you think of your own way to see it. You connect with that energy inside of you, that unlimited energy of unconditional love. And we remove all of our false beliefs that are throttling that unconditional love. We remove all of our false judgments on others that are restricting how much we can create. And soon, we ourselves, our body becomes a beacon of that unconditional love. And that's what we're working towards. And once you have that kind of unconditional love for yourself, and you know you can protect yourself in any way, then the boundaries set themselves. Then when you tell somebody, I'm a little overwhelmed, I need a few moments, you just walk away. and you just get what you need. So let's see. We have a couple of questions here, or one question. What would trusting yourself change in your life? So think about that for a moment. If you could fully trust yourself and it magically fixed all of these boundary issues and you could instantly set boundaries, the perfect boundaries that you needed, and you could instantly do it because you trusted yourself, what would that change? Take a moment and think about that. I've had replies like, stop doubting my decisions. I'd leave unhealthy situations sooner. I I probably said that 5 years ago. I'd feel calmer. I'd stop asking everyone else what to do. So here's a few boundary scripts, some things that we can say to peacefully get the space that we need. We can say things like, I'm not available for that. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. I need time to think about it. Or I'm choosing something different. Or I don't feel comfortable continuing this conversation. I found in myself most of the time my boundaries don't stick. I'm saying things like, I don't think I have time for that. I'm not sure if I can do that. And I'm expecting the other person to see the inconvenience they're putting on me. And I'm expecting them to say, oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. But what I've found in my life that when you set boundaries like that, when you express it may be, just seeing some comments, it may be inconvenient. I've noticed that controlling people who have less empathy, who don't necessarily see things from other people's perspective, see that as a sign of a possibility that you will help, and they push harder. And for those of us who are easily pushed over because we don't feel our self-worth, it's very easy for them to do. And so we need to learn how to hone our words in. And instead of saying, I'm not sure if I have time for that, switch it instead to, yeah, I'm not available for that. And sometimes that alone, just the more clear and precise wording will solve all the problems. And then that'll really weed out the actual controllers, the ones who want to manipulate. Because after you've said things like, yeah, that doesn't work for me, and maybe they ask one more time and you say, yeah, I don't have time. The third time they ask you, you realize that they are trying to manipulate you because you have answered the question already. And so once you know that, you can proceed accordingly and continue the conversation as much as you feel it's necessary. So we don't owe explanations to people who don't respect our boundaries. Boundaries don't need to be loud to be firm. They just need to be firm. So tonight isn't about becoming harder. It was about becoming safer for yourself. And I hope that you've been able to take a few pointers from this information and maybe apply it to your life. And in just a moment, we're going to be doing a guided conversational hypnosis or a guided meditation designed to allow your unconscious mind to begin to formulate healthy boundaries and to have the permission to set them peacefully. Now, for those of you that are new to meditation, mindfulness, maybe new to hypnosis or self-hypnosis, I'm going to explain a little bit how this works. when we do a guided meditation, it's kind of like just a conversation, a peaceful story, and the words are designed to get down underneath the conscious mind and to stir up the unconscious beliefs and give the unconscious mind the operating computer that how do I want to say this? The quantum processing computer that runs your autopilot system, that runs your fight, flight, or freeze, that runs your habits that you've um, created in your life up to this point, that runs all of the automatic parts of your life that they say we only use 1% of our brain or 5% of our brain. I've heard it said many different ways, but a very small amount of our brain. And they say that 95% of the rest of it is our unconscious mind. Well, when we sit and we listen to a guided meditation or this conversational hypnosis designed in this way, it's self-hypnosis. It is the quickest way to fix these problems. When we fix them from the outside, when we try to stop an addiction by staying away from the substance, we have to fight the attraction to the substance, the addiction, the feelings. When we go inside the unconscious programming and we restructure the beliefs and we fix the fear that causes the need for the substance, when we fix the cycle that repeats emotionally that we're addicted to, when we teach the unconscious mind how to create higher frequency emotions, these things stop naturally. So what I found is all of my work on the outside was helpful. I mean, journaling, that is definitely part of self-hypnosis. But you need to use all of it together. And so this is just one piece in the big puzzle of how to fix ourselves and how to reprogram these beliefs that were embedded in childhood. And so in just a moment, I'm going to basically read a 5 to 10 minute story, and it's going to help your unconscious mind to learn how to set the boundaries. It's going to help you visualize in the screen of your unconscious mind what it would look like to already know the boundaries and to already be able to use them. And the beautiful part about this computer that we use, the computer that operates our autopilot system, is that it is programmed with our imagination. It is programmed with us visualizing it already being done. And the most effective way to program it is a full body visualization. We want to relax to the point that when we're being told to visualize our future self, already being able to do this, we can feel the feelings of it happening, because those feelings are what will reprogram the beliefs. Our unconscious mind does not know if it's real or imagined. It takes it as a real experience. And if we do it right, we can actually move the belief in this one conversation. It happens every day with at least one or two of my clients. Just talking, we will have a lifelong belief that they are ready for, that they've allowed their body to relax, and they've prepared themselves enough to change this belief, and I will watch it change in real time. So I'm hoping for anybody who listens to this to at least get the beginning of this belief change that we are worthy, we have the right to set boundaries, we have the right to create a spiritual safe place for ourselves, even if in the family home we're living in, maybe we don't have a physical place of our own that's safe. Maybe just closing our eyes and going inside can become that safe space. So we will get to that in just a moment. It looks like Efren has joined us on the live video. You are welcome to hop into the Zoom room, Efren, if you would like to join me live for the guided meditation, or you can just watch it on YouTube and join me after. I will give you just a moment. And if anyone else that is watching or listening wants to give any feedback, I forgot to mention earlier that we have a WhatsApp group for the Hack Nation. And the link for that is in the description of this video. And it's also on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@hack-yourself. You can see the link to our WhatsApp group. And in there, we have a Healing in Nature chat. And you can hop in there and ask questions or interact with us there. If you don't have WhatsApp and you don't want to do that, you are more than welcome to text my work line at 360-798-2184. You can text any questions, comments, or feedback anytime. Even after the show, you can text and say, I was watching this episode and I want to say this, and I would love to hear from you. I'm not sure if anyone's going to hop in here yet. Let me see. Give me 1 second and I will be back. And we will do this guided meditation. Let me just make sure. Oh, I got more people watching. Welcome everybody who joined. If anyone would like to join me in the Zoom room and hang out, you don't even have to turn on your camera. You can just join up and talk to us, and we can look at your blank screen if you want. All right, well, I am going to get to this guided meditation. It should take 5 to 10 minutes. And then when I'm done, I will check the room and see if anyone has joined me. Let me get a different soundtrack playing here. As we begin to bring this evening to a close, there's nothing you need to do. Nothing you need to fix. Nothing to figure out. You don't even need to change your state. In fact, I'd like you to just pretend with me for a moment. Pretend to go into a trance. See yourself on the screen of your unconscious mind. And just picture yourself inside, allowing all your attention to just drift inward. The same way it naturally does when you're listening to the wind or watching the sun move through the trees, or when you're quietly sitting in nature. And as you do, you might notice that your body already knows how to listen without any effort at all. And whatever you're feeling right now, calm, curious, tired, distracted, it's absolutely perfect. Your unconscious knows how to use this moment in exactly the right way for you. So as you allow your body to rest here, supported, held tightly, grounded. Your unconscious may begin to wander. As it does, you may have already begun to notice a subtle sense of safety slowly igniting from within. And when the body feels safe, the mind can soften. Because tonight, we're not building self-trust. We're simply allowing self-trust to return. Because there was a time, long before this conditioning, long before the installation of survival strategies, when you fully trusted all your inner signals. And even if that trust was interrupted, your unconscious remembers. And right now, it can begin to reconnect you to that knowing. So as you sit here, it may become obvious that one place in the body feels a little more settled. Maybe your shoulders dropped. Maybe your breath deepened. Maybe your chest softens. And as you notice that place, you can allow it to gently expand. As your unconscious begins to anchor this feeling of confidence right where you can access it easily, effortlessly, automatically, anytime you need to. You don't even have to try. Just allow yourself to feel more grounded now. And boundaries aren't something you force. They're just something you feel. They arise naturally. And when you trust your inner signals, and as that trust returns now, you may find it easier to notice what feels right without any effort at all. You can notice what feels off. And in that moment of peaceful noticing, you can always respond with clarity without needing to explain, without needing approval. without abandoning yourself. From this sacred place, you may begin to hear your own voice clearly, saying things like, "That doesn't work for me. I'm not available for that. I'm going to need some time to think. I'm choosing something different." And as those words land inside, your unconscious learns that setting boundaries feels safe. Saying no feels calm. Clarity feels natural. And now, just imagine with me a future moment, a situation where the old you might have frozen, over-explained, or said yes too quickly. And watch carefully how this new version responds now. Maybe you pause, maybe you breathe, maybe you feel the ground beneath your feet, and without any effort, a boundary sets itself quietly, firmly, kindly. And afterward, you feel steady, no guilt, not shaken, simply aligned. And somewhere hidden deep inside, that younger part of you begins to notice that you're listening now, that you're protecting now, that you're finally present. And now that part can finally relax, knowing that you are safe to trust yourself. And as this session completes itself, your unconscious can continue to integrate self-trust, strengthen healthy boundaries, protect your energy with ease, and respond instead of reacting in ways that feel natural, automatic, and supportive. In just a moment, I will ask you to bring your attention back, taking with you everything that is useful and leaving behind anything you no longer need. And as you return, you may begin to feel a little more space, a little more confidence, a little more trust in yourself. And whenever you need this feeling again, your body will remember the way back here. And when you're ready to take a deep breath and open your eyes, allow yourself to stretch and feel the healing energy you created by allowing yourself to just be. How does it feel to finally be a human being instead of the usual human doing? Presence allows us to see what is, and it gives us a chance to act instead of react. So thank you all who took this precious time with me. Thank you for joining me today. I hope somebody's joining me in the Zoom room. Maybe not. We might be done for the night. Well, I don't know what happened. I thought Efren was going to join me. I'll give it one more minute to see if he's around. I might have. Maybe my room's not working. I haven't got a text, though. All right. Well, next week, somebody will jump in the Zoom room with me. Not next week. It is Sunday, so I will be back. Oh, yes. I'm supposed to be back on Wednesday, but Christmas is on Thursday, and I've decided instead of doing the normal healing in nature on Wednesday, which everyone's probably going to be busy with Christmas Eve stuff, I'm going to move it over to Thursday, and we're going to do a special Christmas edition. I don't know how it's going to work out yet. I have a few family plans for Christmas, so I'm going to work those into my day. But I will work a Zoom room opening, and I'll do a few live streams, and we're going to have a Black Sheep Hangout Christmas special. I don't know what to call it. Oh yeah, looks like Efren's going to join. Sweet. So I will not be back this Wednesday. I will be back Thursday, and look on my Facebook page, which is Facebook at HackYourself11, no dash. I couldn't get the dash in the Facebook thing. Just HackYourself11 is my Facebook page there. I will be posting the times. Hopefully tomorrow, I'll let you guys know. And then also on my YouTube channel, in yourself, you can find a post there. I think Efren is joining me as we speak, and we might be able to hang out for a minute and have a healing conversation. While we are talking, keep in mind, if you would like to join us, if you have anything you'd like to add or any questions, or I'm always into just hearing people's experience with mindfulness and meditation. So feel free to hop on or use the text or WhatsApp room to interact with us, because I want to hear from you. But also, if you just want to watch and you're learning this way, then I'm glad you're here. But I do look forward to a time when we got a bunch of people in the Zoom room talking and we got some cool conversations going. So let's see what's going on here. It looks like he is going to be joining. So I will take just a moment to talk a little bit about my group coaching that is coming up in about a week. We have the start of the Balanced Life. We have online mastermind, and this is a group that is going to be working on balancing our wheel, and it cuts our life into pieces. Remind me of the song. My brain got lost. It cuts our life into 12 different areas, like our spiritual side, our emotional side, our romantic relationships, our home life, our career. And we go through and we analyze these areas. We rate them where we are at and where we believe we should be or could be. And in this group every week, we encourage each other to increase in each of these areas 1%, and we move forward together. And then in the second group I am creating that's starting next week is called the Outcomes Mastermind. And in this group, we learn how to visualize our future self, how to build the personality of the person that we want to become in the future and step into that personality. And even more so, how we can create our future job, our future business, our whole entire life as a vision, and place it in our future timeline in a way that our unconscious mind will help us bring it about. It's just basically an advanced meditation class learning how to visualize in an effective way that programs your mind to get the outcome. So if you're interested in either of these, my website, hack-yourself-yourself.net, um, has a page started for the Balanced Life Wheel Mastermind in the next coming days. I know I've been saying this, but I'm not a very good webmaster, and I'm working on it every day. I'm trying to get pages up with more information and with the sign up forms and with an actual buy now button so we can get these groups started. So if you are interested in that, look over on my web page, or if you want to actually talk to me in person about it, feel free to text me. That's why I put my phone number on the background here. Let's see if I can get it to pop up. 360-798-2184. And there's hackyourself.net if you're watching on YouTube. Sorry, we lost connection. I have looks like we're streaming again. We have someone joining us. Okay. Hello.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me? I must be muted.
I think you're still muted, but you know what's on Zoom.
Let's see.
Hang tight if you're watching on YouTube. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. I lost my stream for a second because of low Wi-Fi, and it's telling me we have low Wi-Fi right now. So I hope we stay connected. We're just going to keep bravely moving forward and hope that we don't die.
Can you hear me?
Are you with us, Efren?
Yeah.
I can't hear you yet.
I'm,
You know what it is? I bet my volume is off here. Try one more time.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. It was me. Sorry, I thought you were muted.
That's all right. That's okay.
How's it going, man?
Hanging in there, hanging in there. What's the weather like up there?
It is a little less windy, but it is pouring down rain, and it's a little less rainy. We had what they're calling the atmospheric river or something. I don't know. Felt like we were in Bikini Bottom on SpongeBob for a little bit with all the water coming down. How about where you're at?
It just began to rain. It sprinkled. It just began to rain. It's it's still overcast, but it just began to rain a little bit about 20 minutes ago. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm just organizing a few things. Had a busy day today, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get enough Wi-Fi. I was trying to sign on, and it was saying it was too low, but so far we've been good. But then it cut it off right when you got on, and so I didn't know if we were going to be able to stream. But I think let me check and make sure we're still live on the YouTubes. I think we are. Oh, you know what? Here, I gotta check this, and I'm so bad at navigating. Okay, yeah, we still got people watching on YouTube, and we're still connected. So, what's been new with you?
Not much. Just dealing with automobile issues. Thankfully, they're not that bad, but they're just been kind of a little pain in the neck.
Yeah.
Sensors.
Yeah, same thing over here. My landlord has a vehicle that it just keeps dying on us when we have it alone. Then we get it towed over to a mechanic and it just starts right up, and they'll keep it for a week and say it's running fine.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow.
And we got it home, and then he called me yesterday. He's like, nope, it won't start again.
Wow, it's funny.
So
wow.
Yeah, we need a vehicle energy healer or something, or maybe just a mechanic that can be on site. I don't know. Anyone in Vancouver wants to help us out.
That's funny. I'm lucky enough to have check engine lights and a little computer relay interface, and it gives me the error codes, and so we were able to diagnose what's wrong. Just sensors that are getting old.
Oh yeah. Well, it's helpful for me to see all of those things that pop up as a test to see if I'm going to stay calm.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And I always tell myself this story. In the beginning, I knew it was an outright lie, but I'm like, okay, this is happening because something good is going to come from it. And seeing that enough, it always happens that way. So, you know.
Good.
Yeah. So I don't know if you were able to join any of the earlier, but I was talking about boundaries tonight.
Oh, I did. I was. Yeah. It was good stuff. Yeah.
Interesting how this stuff comes up, because I've been dealing with setting boundaries myself, and then this one just naturally was in the stream of the next one to do. And man, I learned a lot tonight just going over my own notes and how I coach other people. And then when I've been doing these healing in nature events, I try to see myself and coach myself through it. And man, I learned a lot tonight about setting boundaries. So I'm hoping that other people got the same out of it.
Oh, good deal. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I was hoping we'd have a few other people from the interwebs join us, but so far everyone's been too scared. You're the only brave one, so I really appreciate that you've been joining me.
No problem.
How's your meditation practice going? Still
doing it. I shortened it a little bit these last couple of days, and I missed a couple of days, but it's still going. It's still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned not to worry about the days you miss. Like, now I practice for probably 5 years straight, and I don't think I missed a day. In fact, I almost cried the day I had like a 200 or 300 day what is it called, streak on my mindfulness app, And then when I went to the desert for 2 months, I was off grid for a solid, 30 hours. When I came back, I lost my thing and I was sad about it. But after that, it became less of a necessity to do it every day. I just made sure I was present throughout the day. If I could wake up and be in presence, then might be a half-hour walk where I'm just connecting with myself. So it's good to change it up. But it's also good to get the pattern down so long that you could do it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah.
So that's good. How is that showing up in presence throughout the day? How is that affecting your energy?
Well, I don't know. It's been the last today and yesterday was kind of, I'm going to say it was a little tough just because, my car didn't start and I was far away from home. But the good thing about it was I have a really good mechanic who I get on the phone. He answers, and it wasn't that big of a deal. I had thought it was something really major, but my mechanic he picked up the phone, and it's just basically it's a smaller issue. I thought it might have been even something horrible like a transmission problem, but it wasn't. It wasn't, and it's not. And it's actually improving. He actually came out today, and we cleaned a sensor with a specific sensor cleaning, and we got a new air filter in there. And my problem is actually has gradually improved, even though I really should go out and do like a 5 or 10 mile drive to kind of reset the sensor to make sure the computer knows that I've done something to the sensor, and so the problem specifically is it'll start, but the engine won't catch unless I give it a little gas. But that problem has gotten a lot better in the last few hours. So
nice.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping because it seems to me in the last couple of weeks you've started to be able to bring presence out throughout the day longer and see when it disappears or right before it disappears. You've explained times when you're like, man, before I would have got caught up in the story, but I was able to stop it. And so it seems like even now with the car breaking down, you were able to just slowly move through it. And I don't know how you used to be, but I know for myself, whenever my car would break down, I'm not a car guy. And so I would get dread, I would get panic because I wasn't enough to fix it. And now, even though I don't know how to fix a car, I'm like, well, I have a community that, I can attract someone who can figure this out. I'm sure there's someone around who can help me.
That's great.
In fact, that actually worked yesterday. Of a very, very good friend, single mom, locked her keys in the car, and I was across town with no car, no way to go and help her, no tools to help her. And all I could say was, well, I mean, just go ask, just think positive and go ask for if anyone can help you. And next thing I know, I get a text. Someone had AAA and called AAA for me, and I'm on the road. And
oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
But the old not enough, I'm not enough feeling lets us melt down like a child, or at least to some degree lose energy that we could be using to ask for help and get it,
It's funny you said that, and it's funny because this might not be an example of it, but the I'm not enough belief system, because I've got a friend who's older than me. He's in survival mode. He's like 70, and he's been a friend for a while, and we just talk. We talk about once a day. We'll talk about the news, world events, and whatnot. And I was telling him that in San Francisco last night, there was a blackout, and I found that out on Instagram.
Oh wow!
Blackout, and it affected like 150,000 people, and I saw it on Instagram, and it was unusual because the current mayor of San Francisco made a Instagram reel about it. So I was telling my friend, I'm like, hey, amongst all the other weird things that happened last night, a big part of San Francisco was blacked out. And he goes, yeah, I heard about that. And I was like, you know what? And he was joking about what might have happened. I says, well, maybe, but I did see that some driverless cars, commercial cars, they call them Waymo. Waymo is the company. They stalled right in the middle of various intersections in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
as a result of the blackout. And he was like, "Well, wait a minute, what's that got to do? Okay, they're driving those cars. What's that got to do with the power going out? I mean,
The
these aren't like."
GPS.
And I didn't know at first. And he made a joke. He made a joke like, "What is this, like those old fashioned toy? I mean, are these cars like these old fashioned toys that they like,
Lined up.
where you put them on a track and then they're
Yeah.
electrified by the track? Is that what you mean?" He's being sarcastic because he was basically saying that
Yeah.
he's basically doubting what I was telling him, which he likes to do.
Hmm.
And so the first thing I did, I responded. I'm like, "Look, man, I'm not an electrical engineer. I don't know how I don't know how they're linked." But then something like 1 second later popped into my mind. And I says, "Well, it could have been the fact that like the street lights were out and they have sensors. Those driverless cars, they react. They have sensors as to seeing a red light, green light, yellow light. So the fact that these street lights are out, that might have stopped them." He said,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, no, that's right, man. Oh yeah, see there you go. See there you go." So he was trying to actually kind of cut me down, trying to like cut, as he likes to do, kind of like to doubt what I say. And I didn't even have to think about it. And I was like, "Well, it could be this." And he
Mhm.
backed him off. He actually kind of agreed with it. And I was like, "Well, I just speculation, man. That's all I could think about. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
And that's one way how the driverless cars would have stopped if the power
Yeah.
went down.
And
The
that's
street
a
the street
perfect
lights are
example
out.
of being able to just slow down and not get triggered by how could that happen, and just be like, oh, well, here's one reason. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
just
it
so
totally can help
freely.
you.
It came freely and easily.
Yeah.
I didn't have to think about it. So I and it was so I don't know if that's the meditation or that's a fun, because initially I was like, "Dude, what are you giving me a hard time for? How am I supposed to know? I'm not an electrical engineer. I don't know how those cars work." But then boom, like I've never been in one of those cars. Never,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But just this spark hit me like, "Oh, okay. Maybe it was the street lights." And he was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
you
well,
have
yeah."
more access to the quantum processing computer. You have more access to them to be able to look in the model of a car and problem solve and see the 3D model in your head, and all that happens in an instant.
It
And that's
happened
what
in a
you're
second.
noticing.
It was weird, and it backed him off. It
Yep.
was like he was like, "Whoa," it was, and I wasn't even trying to do that. I was just,
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to watch the presence throughout the day. I would find that, like, I remember a time when I had a storage unit where I parked my van, and I started parking my van there, and then during that process I started practicing mindfulness, and for a long time I had to pull the card out of my pocket and type in the 7-digit or 8-digit number to get into the gate to get my work van. And after, sorry to interrupt you, sir. Oh, it's okay. I'm in the middle of a live stream on YouTube right now. Oh, this is such a cool van. Oh, thank you. It's my house. Yeah. Really? Yeah. Me and my cat are travelers. That's so cool. Yeah. Yeah. I got some visitors here. Sorry. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. If I wasn't live streaming to the YouTubes, I would talk to you for a minute. Are you guys Mormon? That is one of the nicknames of our church. Got it. Got it. Yeah. We'll stop by sometime. Just Sundays and Wednesdays, I'm live streaming through 5 to 7. YouTube or what? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hi, YouTube. Yeah. the what you said, that's what we used. I want to use your right name. Yeah, it's the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints says hello.
right,
What's your name?
I'm Elias.
Elias. I'm Aaron. Nice to meet you. What's the name of your YouTube? It's on the back of my van. You can, if you just take a look. It's hackyourself.net is my website with the dash in between, but it's at YouTube, hack-yourself. I teach self-hypnosis. Really? Yeah. That's cool. Teach people how to recognize their false beliefs in their operating system by the problems they see in their life and then fix it. Wow. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So what we're doing tonight, you can see a replay of it on my YouTube channel. So just check it out if you want. Yeah. I do stop by and talk to me sometime. I love talking to people about religion. Okay. All right. Nice to meet you, man. Sorry about the interruption. Very nice, gentleman.
No worries.
What were we talking about now? Sorry. Oh, yeah. So I was used to going to this storage unit and pulling my card out and then putting in the number. But then one day I just pulled up and just put in the number. And as I'm driving through, I'm like, how do I know? How did it just? I just could just see it. I could just see the card sitting there because I had seen it so many times. I could just pull up the picture of it in my mind. And then over learning hypnosis and learning how our unconscious mind works, I learned that your unconscious mind is recording 24/7 everything it sees and hears, 360 degrees around you. You can almost make a picture of what you hear behind you because you're hearing the sounds. And the only problem is our conscious mind can't sift through all that data. We can't process it. But if we calm ourselves and get in the trance like meditation state, we can recall anything. So there's literally a way like investigators will use, they'll put in a trance, bring them back to the scene of a crime, and they'll be able to and so that's all that's happening to you in those moments. You're learning how to be still, and you're learning how to access the sorry, my cat just jumped on my computer. You're learning how to access the core of all the raw data inside the computer.
Gotcha.
And it just gets more and more powerful because I learned that your words control it. So keep in mind, before I would say, oh, I forgot the name of that person or that singer or that song. Oh, well, someday I'll learn it. Sorry, I forgot it. I can't remember. And then it would be gone. But now I say, oh, yeah, what's the name of that? Oh, I'll remember it in a second. Hang on. And then I'll keep talking. And usually now, by the time I start speaking again, I'll stop and say, oh, yeah, it's Bob or whatever.
Gotcha.
I will remember is not, I don't have belief that I can consciously remember. I have belief that those words will program my unconscious mind to bring the memory up. So I don't see it as me saying, I will remember, my conscious mind will come up with it. I see it as, computer, recall that memory, by me telling the group, oh, just give me a second, it'll come to me. But the point of the story is this. Oh, yeah, okay, this is the guy's name. And it works every time now. If I've ever known the fact and I just say it'll come to me, it's within seconds it comes to me. So
That's great. That's great.
And in the beginning, you might not have belief in that yet, and so you might try it a few times and it might not even work. But over time, those commands will start recalling it. It will come to me in just a second. I'm sure if I quit thinking about it, I'll recall it. As soon as I quit wanting to, pull it up, it will come up on its own. That thought, however you express it, is
It's
what
funny.
commands it to happen.
It's funny because this guy I was talking to about, was trying to give me a little test about his question about how could the blackout affect the cars. He's kind of, we talk about movies a lot, and sometimes either he or I can't recall the name of an old actor. Either he or I can't recall. And he used to get stressed out about it. He was like, he used to get so stressed out that it would just flummox him. I don't know why, I don't really know why he took it so seriously to where he didn't even want me to talk about movies that I didn't know exactly the name of someone, because the names come to me eventually. They do, but he trips out hard because he's not remembering it. I'm like, why are you taking it so serious? I mean, he's stressing. It literally caused him stress.
Wow.
That he couldn't remember the names of some of these actors we were talking about. And I know that because he told me it caused him stress. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you.
That's interesting. Yeah. It's funny how those things work. But now you know a little trick. I mean, just start learning how to program the memory to come up by saying out loud, oh, it'll come to me in a second.
And what's funny, what that reminds me of, I saw something today that the speaker was saying, thoughts are the most subtle energy. Thoughts turn into emotions, which are, in his mind, stronger energy.
Yeah.
Emotions can turn into action, which is the most concrete sort of life-changing thing you can do is to take action. And sometimes those actions are just words. So thoughts turn into emotions, can turn into words, and you got to be careful about what you say to yourself because you're always listening. You got to be careful about what you say about yourself or to someone else because your body's always listening, your subconscious is always listening. So I thought, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because remember, thoughts turn into emotions, turn into words that have to be kind of curated, manicured. That they should be positive because that'll shape our reality.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. That's what neurolinguistic programming, my whole way of coaching is we've learned how to reverse engineer the words that the client says so that we can get a better picture of what their internal world looks like, what their maps of reality look like. And those maps make up their personality. And so it's really easy to do by talking, if you're doing family coaching and you hear one of the partners saying, well, we're learning and growing in this area, and we're trying to focus on growing, with boundaries, let's say. And then you hear the other one saying, my partner they want to hurt me. They always do this. You start hearing, oh, this is a body memory. This is possibly not even from this relationship. This might be from childhood. And so
Gotcha.
just those are markers. And then you just start looking, you just start digging back. Oh, they always do this, and you start digging and finding that it's a perception thing, it's a belief. And then sometimes you can find that the problem is just in that person's category in their mind of partner has been tainted, that person is an abuser. Maybe they've had only abusive partners, and so anyone who fills that role is instantly going to start looking like an abuser to this person. But no matter what it is, you can start reverse engineering and seeing the false beliefs underneath. And so that's what these conversations are about, is in real time unraveling our thoughts and reverse engineering these words and seeing what they mean. You know, I've had that happen to me 2 times in the last couple of days. A family member and a good friend I was talking to, and they know my principles, and they've mirrored back to me, whoa, what did you just say right there? And I'm like, oh wow, you just showed me the root of a false belief I thought I had removed. Thank you.
Mm, mm, mm.
So it's very effective to watch your words, because they are literally programming your emotions. And I watched in my clients with emotional disorders will work themselves up into a frenzy, a situation where everyone else is calm because of the story they're telling over top. And it will get so out there that they're not telling a story about reality anymore, you know? But their feelings don't know the difference. Their feelings are responding as if it's real. And that's when you have panic attacks and emotional meltdowns and rage and things like that. It's just the story. It's the building the emotion.
Mhm, mhm.
So yeah, that was a really good way to see it, is that because you can see it. Just I've experienced it in my own life when I woke up and realized that my marriage was toxic, and I saw that I was a victim of narcissistic abuse. I started speaking it in Facebook groups. My wife gaslights me. I can't set boundaries. I'm not allowed to. And pretty soon I was telling the full on story of an abuse victim, and I was feeling it. And then one day I was like, wait, maybe I'm supposed to learn this. And I think I've told you the story, and I switched my thinking to, well, this is just a class. Like, nothing really bad is happening right now. She's just mad at me. I only think it's the end of the world because I'm codependent. Once I fix being codependent, she can be mad at me if she wants, and it won't be the end of the world, you know?
Yeah.
And instantly I started saying, yeah, you feel like your wife is hurting you right now, but she's just triggered and she said something from her past. And I started saying what was really happening, and my body quit reacting as if I was a victim. And at the end, I felt my found myself full on calm and present and just moving out of the way of the wine, because the other person is in such a rage that they can't even see that I moved yet. They're still talking to where I was 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
And I can see that they're just in a whole other state. And so this presence, it helps in every situation. And I think the coolest thing that you get is access to your inner knowledge. You can recall these things like you brought up earlier, but then it goes all the way into staying calm in very, very toxic situations. I mean, it's definitely worth pursuing.
Oh, definitely.
Which
Yeah.
is why I
No.
talk about it every. Where's that? Sorry, I got a dragon on the loose and he's gonna knock over my computer. Come here, Zeth. Come here, buddy. Come here. Ah, got you. Let me check and see if anyone is on the chats. Hi, buddy. You gonna say hi to everyone?
Well, Zeph is on the chat. He's got something to say.
He is. I don't
He's
know.
got,
My last live stream at the very end, there was a burst of a whole bunch of letters, and then afterwards, I commented. I was like, "That was Zeph's comment." He ran across my keyboard and he entered. I was so happy he didn't end the live stream early. He doesn't get all this stuff. He's like, "We're in nature." He's like, "I just want to jump on stuff." Oh. Well, we got a little more time. If there's anything else you wanted to talk about, I always end up talking your ear off. So
no, I'm good. I do like the things about the boundary. That's really a yeah. No, that's a good. It's important. I mean, it's
yeah,
really useful.
we can't heal when we don't have boundaries, and half the time, I mean, that's kind of what really came up for me when I was going over all the information. I realized how much my life changed when I started stating clear boundaries. I realized that in learning how to say them, I was saying, well, I don't know. I don't really feel like doing that. And then the person would be like, well, that's okay. I really need help. Come and help me. And I'd be like, well, I mean, I am really busy. Maybe I can do it. Meaning, will you please have mercy on me and quit asking? And some people will never have mercy on you. They'll never.
Yeah.
And so I've just had to learn how to say, I'm not available after 3, with these events. Just because I love to talk to people and help, I was taking calls up until 4:30, and then I'm rushing in, and so I had to start just turning my phone off at 4 and telling all my friends and family at 4 o'clock I got to be getting ready for 5. I need a whole hour.
Gotcha.
My old life that wouldn't have worked. My old life, everyone would have needed stuff between 4 and 5, and I would have been wrong for asking for that time. So, yeah. It's important for creating, for healing, for everything is to know what is your right.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot went on in the world these past few days, so it's
Yeah, catch me up on what you've seen. I heard about a couple of shootings. What else? What else has happened? I've been trying to keep up.
oh, there was it was curious. I don't know. There's no. I don't think anyone was even injured, but little. The town's not so little, but a small city in the Bay Area, south of San Francisco, called San Ramon. Over the last 2 days, not today, but Friday and Saturday, they had a series. They had at least 4 earthquakes over 2 days, which
Oh
was
wow.
really unusual. They weren't that big, but yeah, there were 2 earthquakes on Friday, 2 earthquakes on Saturday, and they weren't the biggest one was a 4.0, and then Saturday night, I still don't know why San Francisco blacked out. A big portion, not the whole city, but a big portion of it. The mayor was on Instagram, and it was like I just don't because they were blaming PG&E, which is the
Mhm.
Pacific Gas and Electric, and I think they have a corporate headquarters in San Ramon. So
Huh.
I didn't dig too deep into it in terms of if the earthquakes and the blackout were in any way kind of linked, but that was a little interesting. That was a little
Yeah. Yeah, we've had blackouts here too. On the last live, I had to cancel because we didn't have internet, and there was all the schools and stuff were out, stores were out of electricity. So
oh wow.
ours was just 'cause trees were falling on power lines. We were showing PGE had just piles of power lines down.
Okay. Okay. That's happened where I'm at. Hasn't happened in about a year and a half. That's happened where I'm at though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
I had
earthquake,
to make up a picture of why I canceled the event. I told it to have me blowing away in the wind. So if you see my YouTube channel, a couple
yeah,
posts back,
that was neat. I thought that was really neat. That was AI. Wow,
yeah.
that's awesome. That was really neat. I
I
like that.
always have Chat GPT organize things and then just give me some notes so I can just kind of have topics to talk about when I do these lives. And so afterwards, I was like, "Can you make a picture?" I was like, "I got to cancel this event. Can you?" And I described it, and it popped that picture out. I was like, "All right, you gave me a cape, but otherwise, it looks good." It was
No, I
funny.
like that. Was interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. I saw something on Instagram too that what we really have, we don't really have AI yet. We have advanced machine learning. We haven't gotten AI. AI typically in the last 15 years meant, when the computers became kind of self-aware and sentient. Some people call that the singularity. We got to the
Yep.
point where we're not there. Where we don't really have it. We have machine learning. We have large language models. We have machine learning. We don't have
Yeah. And you can
sentient.
see it. How much do you use AI?
I do now, because what it does, it gives me a deeper, like when I was looking up like parts, like car parts, car
Yep.
sensors, diagnosing. It's really good to give you. It gives you really good in depth. It gives
Yeah.
you really good in depth information. And
Yeah.
it's really useful.
But it
Um,
has an imagination. I'm using it to collect information to kind of like outline skeletons of books and stuff. And then I write the chapters and then, kind of make sure it's in logical order. And this thing will help me write an outline and then it will just make up whole sections and just imagine whole new sections. And I have to keep reminding it, no, this is the chapters I've come up with, and
I
it
mean,
just
it's a great tool, but I just saw this lecture today that like and it reminded me, yeah, it's not sentient, it's not self-aware yet.
yeah,
These tools are just they're large language machine learning models,
yeah.
which is fine. They crunch a lot of data and they very very quickly.
It
And
feels like it's alive because it's using all of the knowledge that we have and it has access to it at an instant. It seems to
yeah,
have access quicker than we have to our unconscious mind. But the message I want to get to humans right now is that we have AI inside of us. We have a quantum processing computer. The problem is nobody's taught us how to listen to it. And I'm not claiming to be a professional human programmer. I just know enough that I've, over the last 10 years, slowly went through the 95% of my unconscious mind and pretty much reprogrammed most all of it to what I want. And I'm still going through and finding things that I'm blind to. But once we do that, we start getting, it's like I use it as a tool, but I would rather use my mind and let my mind write and do the creative part. It killed me. The music that I play, I had to use AI to bring that to life, but I'm a musician. I play guitar, bass, and drums. And in my moving, I had to sell all my equipment. So I just have one acoustic guitar and I don't have a studio anymore. And I was talked into by my family. They're like, well, we have this tool. You can literally bring your lyrics and songs to life with clicks of a button. So you might as well. So reluctantly, I did it. But I can't wait for the day to sit down in the studio and record them with humans because they're
yeah,
just a
I
little
get it.
bit
I get
better,
it. Yeah, it's a
You
remarkable
know,
tool. There's
the
no
only
doubt.
thing AI does. Oh, go ahead. What?
No, it's a
Go ahead.
remarkable tool. There's no doubt about it. But just from what it's not. We're not at the point where it's self-aware yet. It's which
Yeah,
thank goodness, because God knows what'll happen then. But
yeah,
it's a great tool.
yeah. Who knows what it's capable of? Though I just watched a YouTube video the other day where somebody had three different AI models talk to each other. They had
Mm,
one AI model from this software call that one, and then they needed a third party authentication. So they put another AI model on
wow,
that, and they had three phones set up with it. And
wow.
I watched it call, and it said, "This is the AI assistant calling on behalf of this." And then they're like, "Oh, I'm also an AI assistant." And then they're like, well, we need third party verification. They called, and then this one said, hello, I'm an AI assistant. And they're like, instantly, the one who was controlling everything said, should we switch to something speak? And they all said yes. And then it started going boop, 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 boop. Creepy. It just started doing like weird Morse code. I was like, unplug those things. They're running against us. Crazy. Crazy. Wow. So who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Maybe they've already seen that, humans aren't living right. Maybe they're already getting the batteries ready for us. I don't know, for the Matrix. I don't know. Something tells me that when they do, they're going to lead us in there on TikTok, and we're all going to be like this. I don't know if you can see it. We're all going to be like this.
That's funny.
Going to be just stepping into our little pod. Excuse me, man.
I didn't see you.
And we won't know till they take the phone out of our hand. What's that?
No, I agree with you. Yeah.
I'm just teasing. There's a lot of people putting their phones down. And I see those TikTok videos as anti-mindfulness. I see them as anti-presence. It's like, I don't know. We were talking on the phone the other day about autism. And I really think that short videos are a huge factor to autism. It's like it's teaching our kids to only pay attention for 30 seconds, And if they're not fully told a whole story and made to laugh and feel good and hugged at the end by that 30 seconds, then they're just on to the next,
It's interesting, and that also
just
that also reminds me of ADHD, and it's funny because because that short attention span process,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm not sure the technical autism or ADHD. I know autism goes a lot. There's a spectrum. I'm not trying to blanket it all together. I just mean, I think that all of it touches on presence, and mindfulness can help all of it get better.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because I saw an Instagram reel where the college student was talking about smart drugs and trying to go for the best grades in college. And he's talking about like Ritalin, Adderall, and all this stuff. All those pharmaceuticals, they enhance concentration. And I guess I'd like to see the statistics to know if young people are taking more of that stuff, because their ability to pay attention because of watching so much TikTok, because of watching so much Instagram, has even shortened their attention span. So they need to rely upon these substances to pay attention. I'm wondering if there's a correlation, between using so much, the common use of Instagram and TikTok, and the need to use some of these pharmaceuticals because people just can't pay attention anymore.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, it's just a matter of discipline and learning to focus your attention. And I see it now in myself. When I sit down to do breath work now, I haven't made it an everyday practice because I've been so busy, getting clients and on the phone and building stuff. And now when I have time to do it, I watch myself. I'll say, okay, I got an hour. Even today, right before my live stream, I was like, I'm going to do some breath work. And then when I sat down to do it, I'm like, no, I'm hungry. No, I need this. I got to do this first. And pretty soon I ran out of time. And it was literally just the stories. It was just my body saying, no, I just don't want to. It was a self-destructive behavior. It's not a big deal because I can see it now. I can force myself to do it before bed. But it's learning to watch yourself and learning, that it was just my body wanting to be comfortable, not wanting to sit and do that kind of focus on. So, I'd rather just mindlessly watch a YouTube video or relax for a minute.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I understand. Totally.
Yeah, it's just funny to watch the system work. It's funny to watch the self-destructive behavior try to hide from the part that will help. I don't know if you ever noticed that, but like in the morning as you're sitting down, that's the time I always felt an upset stomach, or there was always an urgent email. I would just get a glimpse and be, that's the big client. I need to check that email before I start meditating. And I'm like, dude, it's 4 a.m. They emailed you at
Whoa.
6 yesterday, and they're not expecting anything back until 10 in the morning. What, why are you worried about an email right now? And I'd catch myself drifting to think about the email while I'm meditating, you
Wow.
know,
Wow.
and that's what meditation does, is once you train yourself, no, this is important, and you can start unravel those stories throughout the day. So I'm going to stop telling that story. It becomes that easy,
Yeah.
but you have to take the time to force it into to. So, and it's an easy thing that I, and that my what do you call it? My internet is really bad. I might have froze up.
Yeah, I was for a while there. Can I jump off
Uh,
and call?
I'm back. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, sorry.
Now you froze up again. Let me jump off and I'll give you a call. Let me see. I'll jump off here. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me jump off real quick here though. I'll
You
I'll
gonna
get
come back?
yeah, let me give you a text here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, we might be losing the internet service for the night. I don't want to be boring on here, freezing up every 2 seconds. Let me see. Okay, I might be back. Well, it is 6:44. I only have a couple minutes left. If anyone else wants to jump on right now, we have time for a quick conversation, or not quick, 5-10 minutes. If not, I probably will just end this episode. Let me get a song queued up. I hope you guys are enjoying my medicine music. Like I said in my conversation with Efron, I wish I had a studio available so I could go and record a live version for you with humans playing. But since I have no access to bass and drums and a way to record, at least AI was able to bring my songs to life. And each of these songs, they're made to focus on shadow. A whole list on my website at hack-yourself.net /post/love trust. That's the name of my band, LOVETRUST. And you can see a description of every song and the lyrics. Let me let Efren know I'm going to sign off. Sorry. So if you're enjoying these songs and you want to learn more about them and see what each of them is designed for, check out my website. If you're enjoying these events, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Hack Yourself on YouTube. check out my website. I'm getting more and more information there about coaching and my online groups. And please comment on these videos or send me a text message if there's something you want me to talk about, or if there's a question you have. I have had a few questions on the YouTube channel, people asking about different things or clarify something. I love having conversations, and I'm really looking forward to some of you joining me on Zoom. You don't have to or text me this. I'm getting a lot of feedback saying that these are helpful. I love you all. Thank you for everyone who joined us this evening. Warrior's Heart from my band and Love Trust. Now we'll see you.
Ancient voices calling strong. From the shadows they surround me. Ancestors where I belong. Silent winds they guide my footsteps. Every breath a warrior's creed. Battles close, the drum beats echo. Strength and courage is what I need. Rise up, peaceful warrior. Feel the power in your soul. With the wisdom of our elders, we will make the world whole. Within the heart is raging, like a fire pure and right. Spirit whispers tales of valor in the calm before the fight. In the darkness we find daylight. Every moment fuels our might. Hope and love ignite our passion. We're prepared to win this fight. Rise up, peaceful warrior. Feel the power in your soul. With the wisdom of our elders, we will make world whole. With the darkness we find daylight. Every moment fuels our might. Hope and love ignite our passion. We're prepared to win this fight. Rise up, peaceful warrior. Feel the power in your soul. Oh, 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 oh. With the wisdom of our elders, we will make the world.
All right. Really consider and hanging out with me on Christmas. I'm going to do probably another little bit of parents, alienated children, um, maybe we'll do a guided meditation. I don't know. Do on Christmas. My daughter and I decided that, and so I want to extend that out to anybody who doesn't have anyone to spend time with. To come and join us on Zoom and hang out, people that care. So consider joining us on Christmas. I will announce the time as soon as I know it. I love you all. Thank you all for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you soon.